I want to just welcome all of you. The reason that we're doing this way is that his folks are going to be able to see this, and also you and anybody else will be able to see this on YouTube. And it's kind of special because they aren't able to be here. Scott's going to give you a little bit more information, but long of the story short, thank you for all being here. And I'm going to give this to Scott Tom, the most famous guy in Southeast Portland. This is 106.7. And by the way, if you hear him on the radio today, it's really Cruz talking.
Yes, yeah. Folks,
Scott.
I just want to say that it's an honor to be here today at Hound Dogs. I think it's safe to say we all pretty much have a little hole in our heart today, actually a big hole in our heart today, because Cruz was special to all of us. And I just want to say that I'm thrilled to see all of you. We don't get together here very much, and it's a sad circumstance that we have to come together like this, but it's also gratifying to see that Cruz touched so many people and had so many friends and was loved by so many people. And I just want to say that for Adele and I personally, he was the absolute kindest, sweetest person that we have ever met. And what I loved about Cruz, and I just want to share this with you, is every time we would come in and he'd come up and usually give Adele a hug, if we gave him a tip, he always not only would say thank you, but how many of you did he do this to? He always, he'd do the sign language, thank you. That always just really touched my heart. I love that. Because he knew I'd been in radio for 40 years and I was going deaf, so he just wanted to make sure I understood thank you. So that was one of our memories, but we're kind of videotaping for Roy and Teeny, his parents up in Alaska, I believe.
Anacortes.
Anacortes. Okay. It starts with an A. Yep. So Roy and Teeny. Can we have a round of applause for our friend Cruz? Roy and Teeny, get this on here. We love you, Cruz. We're all here for you. And ladies and gentlemen, if we can kind of keep it around close here for the signal of the microphone, I'd like to have a few of you share a memory, a story or two about Cruz. Is there somebody that would like to jump up first? And maybe, Tim, here, you give me that one. This is a better mic. Tim's going to come out to you. Raise your hand. We want to hear some stories about Cruz. And don't be shy. We're all friends. We all know each other. Who's going to be first? Jump in here.
It's for the folks.
Yes, it's for the
folks.
Right here behind you, Tim. Real close and loud for us.
Say your name.
Hello, my name is Nate. I always loved, one thing I always really appreciated about Cruz was, even though I was coming in getting, a drink and more than that, he really asked me how I was doing every day, and like,
he really cared.
Really, asked more questions that, relative things that I talked about last time that I saw him, and he's checking in on how I am now. And, that's rare, not everybody pays attention like that every time, so.
That's right.
Warm,
friendly, caring. Anybody else have a story about Cruz?
Come on, you guys.
Over here, we got somebody.
Don't being shy. Get real close.
Real loud.
Hi, I'm Jaguar, and I met Cruz here when he started working a couple years ago, and he always would just treat everybody like you're his brother or sister.
Family.
And family, yes. And he always remembered my drink, and he knew I don't want plastic straws in it, so he would never do that, and he was a very kind person.
Very kind. How many of you had a special drink and he always remembered your drink? You really didn't even have to ask him. All of them. Everybody's hand. He always remembered your drink.
Hi, my name is Susan, and I would come in on Saturdays because I knew Cruz was here. He drew me here. He was absolutely the best bartender, and he always had a kind word. And we shared a very emotional incident with Eric, and that's what connected Cruz and I. So I really I appreciate him as a person and a friend. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Who's next? Who wants to say another couple of words about Cruz? I mean, there's
here are always wonderful, but
truly Cruz when he first started. I could never remember his name, but once I remembered his name, I cruised in to see him because it was just the best, and that's how I remembered his name.
You cruised in to
I
see
cruised in to see him. So I just have to say that with all of you here that I've seen, that we've all been here with Cruz, it's cheers to Cruz. And thank you, Mom and Dad, for raising such a wonderful man, because he was truly a wonderful human being.
Yes,
cheers.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Amen.
Great job.
Yeah.
Great job. And I think it's time we're going to turn things. Come over here by me, buddy. We're going to turn things back over to Cruz's boss and friend, Tim Jorgensen. Let's hear it for Tim.
Hopefully, I never wanted to be his boss. I just wanted to work next to him. I'll tell you a couple stories, and what we're doing now is we're going to pass out his favorite refreshment, which I think is not my favorite, but tequila. So, as Eric was so kind to say that he was going to help us out, thank you, Eric. Anyway, we're going to pass out a shot of tequila to everybody, so I'm going to fill some time while you all get a shot. So it's going to take me about 3 minutes, so make sure you get one of those so we can toast him. Most importantly today, I was lucky enough to get to talk to his mom and his stepfather, and they're up in Anacortes, and their health doesn't permit them to be down here. For those of you that aren't aware, they're doing the actual family celebration of life tomorrow, and I wish we could all be there, but at least this is thanks to Scott and Adele. They're going to YouTube this, so anytime you people that know all that stuff, because I'm not even a third grader when it comes to it, because they know more than I do about it, but you can pick it up on YouTube anytime you want, and I think it's a great deal for them to be able to see his friends and the people that he dealt with down here in Portland. Quickly, what I'm going to tell you is a little history about him. I met him. He came up here and applied for a job, and he said he worked at the Lamp. And I've driven by the Lamp about 140 times, maybe 240 times. And in the long of the story short, he said that they changed management and whatever, and he didn't like it, so he came up here to work. And I was a little bit leery, but I hired him. And it turned out to be, as Scott said, I've been in the business 38 years, had 13 places, and he was the most respectful bartender I ever had. He even called me boss. He'd say, okay, boss, I got it, boss. I leave him a note and say, you know, Cruz, you screwed this one up pretty good. He'd say, boss, it never happened again. And he'd write me a little note. He always put boss, and he'd say, got it covered, boss. Boss. He always called me, but never called me Tim, he called me boss. I'm not his boss, but he really was very respectful. And what Scott said, when people came in, he was not an arrogant person. He was a very humble person, and I think more than anything that we remember that. So God bless him. You know, whatever happens in life. And I'm from North Portland and Southeast Portland. We love these dive bars, and I thought, you know, something's cooking. Well, all of a sudden, you know, the rumor comes out, and now he's working part-time up at the Selwood Inn. Man, it just made my butt itch. So I wrote him a letter, and I said, Cruz, I said, loyalty. I said, you know, we only have 3 employees here. I said, if somebody calls in sick, I'm F-U'd, you know, and I don't have any choices. I said, we got a problem. You either stick with me as your loyalty, or, you know, we're going to have to move on. And sure enough, about 3 weeks later, he said, boss, I'm back. But I'll tell you what, God darn it, I was so frustrated, and I'd have my customers come in, and they say, hey, we're going up to Selwood Inn to see Cruz. And I'm going, damn, this isn't good. But anyway, that was kind of a funny deal. But you know what? That's the kind of guy he was. He came back to me and he said, you know, boss, he said, this is where my loyalty is at this part of my life. And God bless him. He was a great guy. And It's just unbelievable that one day he's here and the next day he's not. I guess the best part is that he didn't have any sadness that he had to live through towards the end. Okay, does everybody have a drink?
Yes. And he'll always be in our hearts.
I'm going to turn it back over to the most important guy in the world that knows how to say these kind of things, Mr. Scott.
Everybody, can I have you all hold your glasses up? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a massive Hound Dogs and Cruz friend cheers for how he touched all of our lives, and he will continue to be in our lives. Even though he's not here physically, he will be in all of us spiritually. So here's to you, Cruz. We love you, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Cheers!
Okay.